All right, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel, guys. Say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man, and let's go get started. Say hello to my friend Big Red EDC, and this knife comes from him, and I really appreciate him sending me a couple to check out. And this is the Kizer Lätt Mini. JB, thanks so much for sending this, and I'll put your information in the description. But you guys know JB, come on. So this is the Kizer Lätt Mini. Guys, this is actually the Kizer Light Breeze. That's what Lätt means in Swedish. So from now on, we're going to call it the Kizer Light Breeze. Brought to you by the bounty hunter, Boba Fett. And so in this case, it has the bounty hunter motif, Boba Fett style, which is what drew JB to it and what I like a lot about it. And just really cool. So it is G10, and it is contoured and textured, which I really love. You guys know that. It gives it that wood grain feel. I love G10. I love the banter, but just that flat texture G10 versus this, especially with that reddish orange in the middle of the green there. And by the way, guys, somebody's got to unblow my mind with this. I mean, you can see the texture, the pattern change there, but that inlay is just perfect. I mean, it's got to be some sort of a layering process that they then cut like this, but that is cool. On this side, it's just flat, which is fine. Your pocket clip is deep carry with flat screws. Yeehaw. And has the Lätt Mini logo on it there. Text, nice. Good retention on the pocket clip, go in and out of the pocket really well. I actually carried this as a secondary, and it was awesome. I carried it quite a bit. Great lanyard hole for you guys, and yellow G10 backspacer just to keep that motif going. But again, nicely chamfered and rolled off. Great access to the liner lock there, and you can see down in there, guys, we've got really skeletonized liners, and we'll talk about weight in a minute. It is great. They even put one extra hole back here just to get a little bit more off, which is really cool. So as far as the flipper, you have two different options. You have a back flipper, which is extremely low profile, and by the way, we'll talk about this jimping. It has nothing to do with flipping. There you go. And you also have front flipper, and you do have good jimping for that front flipper. You just get your thumb out there, a little bit of pressure, and you can roll this one pretty well. It did take me some practice. As far as the hardware, nice finish on that. It has the silver. There are not a lot of screws. There's this one back here. The pocket clip is only right hand, tip up. And there you go. So the blade is this great satin finish, really thin flat ground, full flat ground blade. You do have a sharpening choil, the Kizer logo back here, and then back here, it's a model number and the N690 steel. Guys, we have N690 steel, really great jimping, and a crown spine in this $65 to $69 knife, depending on where you find it. You have that really thin and slicey blade. We'll talk about the specs here in just a minute, but I'll go ahead and say it's 0.12. Yeah, thin and slicey, very much so, and very lightweight. You have Bowler N690. You have a crown spine. You have great jimping. You have this terrific G10 and wonderful drop shut action. Thankfully, my thumbnail is in the right place so I don't get cut like I have a tendency to do. But yeah, and you do have to, guys, make sure, because sometimes I have this tendency to leave this finger up here and it's not going to drop like that. You got to get your finger out of the way to get it to drop. And see, I screwed it up. But anyway, there you go. Really great action. It's coming out. Again, this low profile flipper takes a little getting used to on the back, but once you get used to it and you kind of know what kind of pressure, it's great. And the detent is perfect. Really, really well done. So let's talk specs, and then we're going to do a little comparison thing going on here. So this knife is a small guy. To me, it's a secondary 6.8, so it's not that small, but it's pretty small. The cutting edge is 2.75, and the blade length is a little bit longer because you do have the sharpening choil. Again, 0.12 on the thickness, flat grind on the blade. Handle length is 3.875, and the weight is a measly 2.25. By the way, I talked about that jimping, and I never came back to it. That jimping is great for a choke up. So you don't have a finger choil, but you can choke up really well. Again, if you're back here, this jimping is wonderful. If you're not, if you're out here, you're on that crown spine, but it doesn't bother me, and you can get out here like this as well. Really well done. So let's just show some comparisons. You do have the banter. These I kind of feel like are all in the same sort of size and weight category. So you have the We Banter. You have the Para 3 lightweight, and also the Bug Out, the Mini Bug Out. Now, I don't have a full-size Bug Out. It would probably compare a little bit better because, as you can see, the Lätt Vend has it a little bit in the handle and a little bit in the blade, so maybe the full-size Bug Out would compare a little bit better. But I think these are all great comparisons because they're all smaller knives. They're all lightweight. I think the Mini Bug Out is the lightest, and then I think these are all pretty well close in the same area. So there you go. There's some great comparisons. But yeah, the Lätt Vend Mini to me at $69 is a terrific value, made in China by Kizer, sent along by my buddy JB, and I really appreciate it. Just a great option for just an easy carry. By the way, super slim in the pocket, and in some cases I put this in the bottom of my pocket or wrapped up in my hank or whatever, so I could, because I have so many knives in right now, I'm carrying 2, 3, 4 knives some days, and there you go. So great knife. JB, thanks so much for sending this one along. Check it out, guys. These have become pretty popular, and I now see why. So thanks, guys. Give me a thumbs up and a comment. Let me know what you think of this one. Hopefully you like it. I think you probably will. And if you're not subscribed, please consider checking out the KnivesFAST channel. And if you're not subscribed to JB at Big Red EDC, you better be doing that right away. And guys, thanks so much for watching the KnivesFAST channel.